Good morning, everyone. So I don't really have any great story time or anything like that to tell you today. I kind of wanted to talk about, here we go. I don't do this until I start talking or recording a video. I don't yawn. I don't do any of that. I am fine. I'm just driving to work, enjoying the time. I wasn't even going to do this. I was going to just go to work and maybe do it on my way home or something, but I don't know. It was just on my heart to kind of talk about the season that I'm in. So I am, I'm in a season of, I definitely want to say growth. I don't want to say a level up, but definitely growing, especially in faith and things that need you. I just feel the Lord moving and I see him working in my life. And I was going through a period of where there was 3 weeks where I had just dream after dream after dream. Every night I would have a dream, and I remember I would wake up and I would do that. But when I fast, I don't necessarily have a dream until I break my fast, So that's where that's where I have a hard time sometimes, because I'm like, okay, I'm fasting, I'm going to have a great dream tonight. The Lord's going to reveal it to me, and then I won't have a dream. So now I've had to learn, and the Lord revealed that to me, put it on my spirit, okay, well, it's because you're fasting. That means you're kind of doing it the right way, That's how I know that I'm doing something and something's happening, things are working, but the dreams don't come until after I break the fast, because that's when my revelation happens. And I'm like, okay, all right, I'm good with that. At least I know, because sometimes you're like, am I doing it right, Lord? What's happening? I have some unbelief. I'm probably not even doing this right. Oh my goodness, I ate a cracker, no, I got to start over, I ate that cracker, now I got to start over, and that's where I was. And the Lord is bringing me out of that, because stop being so hard on yourself. I am still trying. And now, is it perfect? Absolutely not. Normally I will say that I have gotten great at the 24-hour fast. There was a time when I couldn't go for 3 hours, and I'd be like, oh my God, I can't eat. What am I going to do? And I would just, of course, you'd be so hungry. You'd just be under such attack. There's nothing you can do. And I just cave, it's been 3 hours. On a normal day, I don't eat every 3 hours. I'm working. So it's not normal for me to be this hungry, famished, right? So I couldn't do it. And I would cave. So then when I started going 8 hours, I started to okay, instead of trying to do this on the weekend, I was like, I'm not gonna be on the weekend because I can't be around all this food. There's always food. No, it was easier for me to start doing it and being done. You know what I mean? I could do it while I was at work, and I wouldn't really think about it, especially if I was busy and I'd be sitting there. Of course, people would come in, hey, I bought you breakfast, or hey, on those days that I would start fasting, people would start doing that to me. And I'm like, okay, and I started to get to the point where I was like, oh, no, thank you, or I would take it and I would just put it in a drawer and I wouldn't eat it till later or something, and they just wouldn't know, because I was tired of being rude. And you don't want to lie, but I also don't want to break my fast. This is a lot of work, and I would start not eating until lunch, or something like that. And then I started doing 24-hour fasts, where I would eat my lunch and then not eat anything else until my lunch the next day, and it made it that much easier. So I didn't have to answer questions, because when I was sitting there not eating lunch, of course everybody's like, oh, what's happening? You're not hungry, you want to diet, blah blah blah. That's none of your business. But I'd be like, yeah, I'm just not hungry today, I ate a big breakfast or something like that, but no, that's a lie, and I feel bad, but it's not your business, and I'm not supposed to tell you that I'm fasting, so I don't. And I started to get a lot of breakthrough, a lot of strongholds broken, and everything else from those fasts. So I became better at it. I love it. Now it's to the point where even if I'm not in a big fast, I can't go weeks without doing at least one. That's how I center myself. That's how I bring myself back. Not even to get any type of big, amazing breakthrough out of it, that's just how I bring myself back and I stay strong in my faith. And So I also I have been pushing off kind of like a Daniel fast, but what I haven't done is the Daniel fast. And then the mixed reviews, like you're not supposed to do it, spirit of depression, but yet again, it's still very helpful in the sense that you're still denying your flesh, all the good stuff. And so, I mean, I heard that I was supposed to have done one, so I had never done one. And it's hard. I feel like either it's nothing at all, because once I start eating something, then I just want to eat everything, you know? So that's a hard one in and of itself, because it's not easy. And vegetables and fruit are very expensive. So for me to get like a whole week's or whatever worth of it is a lot. But that's neither here nor there, because if it's for you, the Lord will make a way. And so far, I'm supposed to be doing a 6-day kind of was just fruits and vegetables type deal. So I started that on Monday, and I've been doing pretty good. You know, there are moments where the dairy is the hardest part for me. That is just the hardest part. There are times when I kind of cut back or replace something, just nothing but juice and water. I've had no soda, no nothing else. I had mostly fruit and vegetables. My lunches have consisted of fruit and vegetables and a salad. I didn't even use the Chipotle dressing like I wanted to. I used some honey and probably not even supposed to use honey, but you know, it's natural. Honey and some apple cider vinegar and avocado oil. You know, like I've been doing pretty good. I've had my slip ups because you just be so hungry. I'm like, what did I even eat? I'm like, I didn't eat anything. I didn't eat anything. I ate some air and drank some water because I've had some cucumbers. I love cucumbers. I'm like, this is I'd be so hungry. I'd be sitting there at the end of the day like, oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. And so then I eat for dinner a black bean burger, you know, but I have to put cheese on it, and I know that's bad. But I'm like, give me this. But the Lord has been with me, and through his grace and mercy, you know, he's shown me, you know, like, it's okay. You're still doing good. Yeah, you might have had, but this is the first time, you know, it's still learning. And now we're on day 4, and I'm still at it, you know. I didn't give up. I didn't eat that cheese and be like, okay, well, I guess I'm not doing this no more. No, I still keep pushing. The next meal, that just means it has to be that much better, you know, that kind of thing. Like I'm trying. I still haven't had my dreams. You know, I have little bits and pieces, but nothing that I wake up when I remember. Like, I'm like, Lord, bring it back to me. And it's nothing for me to remember. So I'm knowing when I'm at the end of my 6 days, he'll bring it back. But I'm like, or show me what I need to know. But I'm also in a period of like isolation, because he is around me. So, you know, my partner left, and I don't know if I told you that she wants to come back. And I kind of prayed that she wasn't able to come back, but not necessarily like that. Like, I want her to be happy, healthy, and all that other nonsense. But I definitely felt a little bad, because she got word that she wasn't going to come back. And I was like, Lord, what are we doing here? You know, if it wasn't meant to happen, then he wouldn't have allowed it to happen, you know? I didn't pray for any harm. I definitely had a serious guilt trip. That was one of the first times with me praying for something. Like, I didn't get down on my knees or fall on my face and like pray, please don't let her bring back here. But I think I definitely did pray about it. Even woke up. I think I woke up in the morning, and that was what my prayer was about. Was like, I just don't want to go back there right now. So she's not coming. And I feel bad, because she's like messaging me. She's like, I need to come back. And I feel so bad. And I'm not trying to be like two-faced and crazy and like, oh, well, you know, I miss you. I don't say that. I just am like, oh, well, that's messed up, you know, because the reason why she's telling me is kind of messed up, but that has nothing to do with me. I didn't tell her to leave. I didn't make her leave. I was actually praying that I could go. Not that, oh, she was going to get in a situation where she wasn't going to be happy and needed to be on bed rest and some more nonsense. That's not what I was praying for. I was praying that he would take me out and I could go move on to do something else. Here she is, got everything that she wanted, plus more money. Now she's sitting there, but she's bored, and now she wants to come back and go around. That's not my fault. But that doesn't make me feel that much better, because knowing that I prayed for something and now she's sitting in a situation where she's miserable. I'm not a horrible person, but I also I just want my happiness and my peace too, and I have that right now, to an extent, and then, so when I was fasting on my lunch, I have a friend that I usually eat lunch with. There's two of them, but I have a friend that I usually eat lunch with, and she was like, oh, I'm going to bring you my spaghetti and blah, 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 but I can't eat spaghetti right now. And I didn't want to tell her that, and she said it in front of a bunch of people, so I wasn't going to say anything. I was like, okay, great, And I was like, Lord, if I'm supposed to eat this spaghetti, I was kind of like low-key, I was excited, because I'm like, oh, that's real food, Lord, what am I supposed to say? I can't tell nobody that I'm fasting, so what are we going to do now? What's going to happen? and so when I got there yesterday morning, she comes in and she was like, oh, I hope you brought your lunch. She was like, I forgot your spaghetti. And I was like, Lord, good thing I did pack my vegetables. You knew, Lord. You did this on purpose. So I didn't get any spaghetti. I was like, woo. I was like, okay. So, it's not, you're not supposed to say when the Lord's blessed you. So she's the only person that I've even told about the whole situation with my, because she's a believer, with my coworker. I told her, I was like, I feel kind of bad that, this is what I prayed for, and now she's sitting somewhere miserable, but and she's like, there's nothing you can do. It's not your fault. The Lord let happen what was supposed to happen, and if she's meant to come back over here, then that door will be open for her again, but at some point she has to put in the work for her too. She's not, my ex-partner is not necessarily a believer. She doesn't take things to the Lord. She does all these rash decisions, because she was also one about how we're supposed to be moving up. As soon as she starts to leave is when we got our market increase. And then we actually got the email talking about how there's going to be different levels to our job, to our department, which is going to be more money and different leadership and that kind of thing. And that's what she was waiting on. She was actually had a hand in writing some of it. And then the email comes 2 weeks after she had already left. That's because when you don't pray about something, or when you don't take it to the Lord, you just take it into your own understanding and then expect everything to fall into place and to be good. This is what happens. Her breakthroughs were right there, because the minute she left, they manifested. So that's the Lord showing you that you are not relying on Him. You're doing your own thing. And that's the sad part about it. And I haven't even asked her if she's seen or got the email, because she's no longer with our department. So I don't know if she even got the email. But I'm not trying to add insult to injury. And like, oh, well, haha, na na boo boo, I'm not like that. But at the same time, I have also prayed for her to come to Christ. And I've told her to pray about things, because we've been in the same situation sometimes. Life's hard. She has kids. She's got young kids. She's having a baby now. Life is hard. Sometimes you just got to pray about it, let go and let God. She ain't trying to hear that. So, there's not a whole lot more else I can do for you. I have tried to save your soul. Now you have to save yourself. And so, and then the other friend that I have lunch with is not really so much of a believer. She's a really good person, but she's annoying. I'm sorry, she's not annoying. It's one of those things where I do for you because I expect something in return type deal. And she doesn't come out and say that, but in the end, if we're standing there and she's like, oh, well, I'm going to go buy you this. And then the next time she expects that something else is going to come back through you. You know what I mean? Not just sit there or do something nice and you get blessed for that. But you should never do something and expect something in return. If you can't do it, that's what I tell people. If I can't do it, I don't do it. If somebody asks me to borrow money, I don't lend money. You don't borrow from me. I give it to you if I have it to give. If I don't have it to give, then I just don't give it to you, because I can't sit in there waiting and expecting you to pay it back when that's not going to happen. And, times are hard. Things happen. If you can't pay it back, so then I'm not expecting there. I'm not your lender. Okay? I'm your friend. who is giving you something without anything in return. Now, does it always come back to me? Yeah. 9 times out of 10, it does. You know, the Lord always provides. But I don't go in there with the expectation, oh, yep, here we go, I'm going to take care of this, I'm going to pay you this. And every time she gives you something, it's like a grand gesture kind of deal, you know, where she tells the whole world about it. And I like that. But as soon as I started talking to somebody else, she got really, really upset, like possessively upset. And I wasn't even talking to somebody else. I was having lunch with someone. Like, I didn't know I couldn't have friends. And then new people come in and she'd be like, you know, Sharice is my best friend. And I was like, who says that? And they'd be like telling me, oh yeah, low-key, she said that you're her best friend. I talk to her at work. Sometimes I'll talk to her on the phone, but that's it. Like, I talk to her at work. We have lunch. She just doesn't like to be by herself. So as soon as she can find someone else, if I can't go to lunch at the same time, she'll find anybody else. But yet, that's on me, you know? I don't know. But anyway, so I was kind of praying about that because it was getting to be where I had to like put the two of them together, because my other friend that's a believer who we were having lunch with, she was like, oh, well, let's go over here. And then my other friend would be like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go over there. Why do you want to have lunch with her? And all she talks about is God. And I was like, well, slow your roll. I was like, because when she had a breast cancer scare a couple weeks ago, she had a breast cancer scare, and all she did was sit there and mope and cry. And I was like, you need to pray about it. I gave her some anointing oil, and she prayed over her. I told her pray over herself and rub it on her boob. Best believe she went to that doctor, and they did find a cluster mass in her boob, and then they biopsied it. It was benign. She was a larger woman. She's lost a lot of weight. It's benign. And I said, praise God. I was like, you sit there and talk about this other woman that openly talks about the Lord, but you asked me if you could fry your chicken with the olive oil that I gave you. Okay. Big difference. I was like, the Lord takes away your blessings when you don't appreciate them. You know, that's not how this works. It's not a funny game. It's not a ha-ha. I was legitimately went to prayer for you, and the Lord blessed you to have a clean bill of health, and this is the thanks that he gets, is you making jokes. So I prayed about that too, you know, Lord, like when she started to get really possessive, I was like, I need to kind of break away from that. So I actually the Lord started making me work alone, so I didn't really get a lunch at the same time, and I couldn't go and do that. Or she went on vacation for a whole week, and that was fantastic. I didn't have to worry about it. I just had lunch with my friend, and it's just so peaceful. It's not even like it's not a horrible experience with either of them, but it's just so much more peaceful with my God-fearing friend, because she's an older lady. She talks, and we have a lot in common. It's just, the other one is just drama, and this person, and this one said this, and I had to go to HR for that, and so I had to get them two together because they didn't like each other, and so I had to get the two of them together, and I was like, y'all need to be friends. I was like, I'm not some pawn that can be this way, and then one has one arm and the other has the other arm. You know, I'm like, I can't do all that. I'm like, this is not even okay. We are all grown. So y'all two need to get along. So we have a chat now, and they actually talk, and we can sit together at lunch, and they can be friends. And I'm like, good Lord. But my other friend does not trust the other. You know, I get it, which is fine, and I don't expect her to, especially knowing and being of the Lord. I get it. There's not a whole lot you can do. She's not the most trustworthy person. But either way, that's the moral of the story. But either way, she's leaving. She told me yesterday she's leaving. I was like, Lord, what do I do? I'm kind of up in the air about this one. She's leaving. She's going to another site. I'm like, what is this period of isolation? Like, I appreciate the obstacles that are being moved out of the way, you know? Like, what I'm iffy about, is being removed, and I appreciate that. Like, the Lord is working, the Lord is moving, so I'm good with that. But it is still, it's one of those things that's like, okay, but what's next? Because I still need, all I need is more money, guys. That's it. More money. And I'm hoping that he's not asking me to quit my job and rely on him. You know, if he is, I'm being very resistant right now, and I'm trying to but I need confirmation. So I'm going to finish out my fast and then see if I get any sort of revelation. If I don't, then we'll go from there. You know, but he knows what I need and what I want to do and where I need to go and how much I want to grow. So we'll see what happens. That's it. I'm done. This is a 20-minute video, and I do apologize, but thank you for listening to me ramble. I hope everybody has a blessed day.